I can add, and I haven't shared this with, I probably won't share it on my channel. And I haven't shared with anybody else.
Hello, hello. I am here with Kofia. Welcome, Kofia. How are you?
Good. I am amazing. How are you?
I am great. So I am here today with Kofia. We are going to do an interview so you could get to know her and learn about her GLP-1 journey. So Kofia, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
For sure. My name's Cofia, and I go by Coach Cofia because I help women heal and thrive and become mentally fit. I am a mom of three amazing girls. I am a divorced mom, single, and working to just feel fulfilled in my life. As far as like, I don't know how much background you want, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now is taking care of my kids, getting healthy, and grow my business.
So what made you decide you want to get healthy? Usually people have like a traumatic event or they looked at a picture or they just got tired of being tired. What
Uh,
made you
I
decide?
I will say the biggest thing for my own personal journey was becoming the type of person that I desired, and just being ultimately to I knew the kind of man that I wanted, and I knew the kind of man that I was attracted to, and I also understood to some degree like personal development, and it really came down to a conversation I had with God, and I was like, okay, God, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, and I just felt like God was like, okay, well, are you that? And so I was like, "Ooh, that's good, God. Like, that's a great question." And at the time, I wasn't because the kind of the phrase that I was, that I had prayed before and I was talking to God about was that I wanted to be able to look at Him and see that He cared about fitness, that He valued fitness, and that He valued health. And so when I felt like I had that interaction with God, like, okay, well, are you that? That kind of I had done a lot of work because I had been overweight really a lot of part of my life, more than I had been not, more than I had been fit. And so, but I got to a place where I loved my life. I had started a business, I got over my divorce, my daughters were thriving. And then I looked at my life and I'm like, man, I'm really happy. I don't have to lose weight to be happy. And I got content and until that all happened. And then I had the interaction about, okay, Lord, I would love to have a companion, a life partner, a purpose partner. And so then I began that journey of like, okay, what does he look like? What are the characteristics that he has? And so, you know, um, getting to that place just allowed me to reflect and go on another journey where it wasn't so much focused on getting skinny or necessarily losing a specific amount of weight. It was really more so like I want to look the part that I like about about the opposite sex. And so that's the part of my story that got me on this journey in the GLP-1s right now.
So did you have that same thought process before with your ex-husband, or did that just develop after, like you were just explaining?
I think it got really clear about what I wanted. To answer that, I would say no, because to be completely honest, it was more surface, right? I didn't know myself enough when I first got married. I didn't know myself enough to know what I had to offer, what my value was, how to be a wife, how to have a good relationship. And so, because I didn't know myself, there's no way I could know who would be the best person to pick.
Did you get
And
married
so,
young? You married
yeah,
young?
not necessarily. No, I think I
Okay.
was like 20. I mean, I don't know. Depends on what you call young. I got married probably like 20, was it 25 or 27?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's considered young, but it was more so just immature, immature and unhealed.
That makes sense. And how long were you married?
Almost 9 years.
9 years. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you start your divorce counseling? after you're divorced, or was that something you were working on before you got divorced?
No, I
Or
had
you're
always,
coaching?
the coaching, no. So
Yes.
I had always wanted to help other people. And people always felt very comfortable having conversations with me, and just even strangers. And so I always had that connection. People could build rapport. And for whatever reason, I could see like, oh, if you tweak this one thing, this will kick off. Or, oh, you probably could do this. And I would always give advice, like really, like I would give unsolicited advice to help other people improve their life. So I had always done that. And so I started to hone that gift. It's like, okay, guys, like they didn't ask for that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be giving them stuff that they didn't ask for. So when I went through my divorce and I kind of was like reconnecting with God and wanted to be fulfilled in life, right? Because I felt like I was at rock bottom. It came back up again that I wanted to help people. And when you start a business, especially online, the first thing they tell you is you need to identify, who you can help. And
Mhm.
I had just gone through a divorce, within the last probably year. And so I was like, I can help these people. I felt like God had shown me like specific steps, and that's how I started with the topic or the niche of divorce. And it was after.
Okay. Okay. So tell us about your health journey. Exactly. Like, okay, so were you introduced to the GLP-1 medication through your doctor? Did you hear about it from a friend? Like, how did you get introduced to it?
So the initial introduction, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like April of last year. I remember going to a med spa and asking them about, I don't know exactly what happened, but they had my information. And I had
Hmm.
come into the thing, come into their office to do the weight loss injections. I heard of that. That's as much as I heard, but I don't remember who was that first person. Then fast forward till March of this year, my ex mother-in-law, who we still have good relationship, she started to take the medication. And she was going through, her own situation. And I've talked to her and she told me it's okay to share, because I told her I was going to be talking to people. Um, but she told me about the medication. And so once she told me, then I started going into like research mode. And I brought up the information and did the research and found the provider.
You decided to take that because of her, or you just researched all the different ones and
So
decided on that GLP-1?
I don't think, I can't remember. I think she started on one and then maybe switched, or maybe she's on, I can't remember exactly which one she's on. But when I started to do the research and I looked at the side effects for both medications, and there was just so many videos about side effects for semaglutide versus side effects for tirzepatide. And I just kept seeing one is more expensive than the other. And I think in my brain, I'm like, okay, so the one that costs the most is probably the best one. So that's the one I'm like, okay. And then I just kept seeing more evidence about, this one you get more of a weight loss. This one has, then it talked about how it has the two things versus the dual agonist versus just the one. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like something that will be really helpful.
Okay. So have you had any side effects with tirzepatide?
The only side effect that I've really had is the constipation, except for when I went from 2.5 to 5, and like the first couple day, like the first day after those two shots, I felt like a little bit nauseous, but like not pregnant nauseous. You know how, if you've ever had morning sickness, that can be intense. So it wasn't quite that, um, but a little bit of nauseous, and then a nausea, and then the constipation has been something that's been consistent throughout the 2.5 and the 5, and just every week.
And what do you do to help with that?
So I take the magnesium capsules, and I had already started taking them back in. I had bought some magnesium powder back in like April of this year, because I was reading a bunch of stuff about like your cortisol and how if your stress hormone is too high, then it can prevent you from losing weight. And so I was really trying to work on my sleep. And so that's why I initially bought the magnesium. And then as I started doing more research, then I started to see, oh, it also helps with your constipation. It'll help you go. And so I just started to actually start, instead of taking like 2 pills, I took the 4 that was recommended. And then I just start being able to be more consistent every day.
And so when you take those pills, how long do they take to start working?
I don't know. I just know within 24 hours I'm going.
Within 24 hours, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how, like when you say it, I guess when you say, yeah, that answers your question. Yeah. So within 24 hours. And so I used to take them right before I go to sleep. But what I've been doing is, because I realize the medicine slows my digestion, in order for me to feel it by the time I go to sleep, I have to take it like in the early evening, almost right after or right before dinner.
Okay, okay. And so you said your channel name is Kofia Fit at 40. Are you 40?
Yes.
Exactly 40?
Yep.
You're exactly
Yeah.
40. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
That's
okay.
but and I was talking to somebody else. I was like, I think I want to change that because I'm not gonna always be 40. Like next year we're gonna
But
do
I think
something.
it could represent the 40s. I think if not, if you were 50, because I didn't know you were exactly 40. I thought, well, she's 40 something, but she's just saying Kofia Fit at 40. So I think it's it's catchy. It's really catchy.
Thank
Um,
you. But Downsizing Diva is more of like a brand. I would want to create, like on my divorce channel, it's Courage to Thrive. It's a brand. So I want to figure out something for that, for the fitness part.
I would do it before you really get a huge following, because then it's easier to bring people along with you.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But
Maybe I'll make a poll of like what names they like.
I think that's great though. So you said you've only had the constipation except for the nausea the initial time you took it. So
Hmm.
tell us about your diet, because watching your videos, you're eating very healthy and you're on a mission. So tell us how much you've lost, maybe your starting weight, where you're at now, how much you've lost, and how that diet is looking.
For sure. So I started August the 2nd at 248.2 pounds. And to as of like last Friday, or I don't know what today is, but as of my last weigh in, I weighed in at 212, I want to say. 212.2 or something like that. So I'm down 36 pounds in 13
Wow,
weeks. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Killing it, killing it, killing it.
You
And
are
I was
killing
doing
it.
my shoulder shimmy because I my shoulders is trying to pop out.
I saw that. I said she's working out and doing all that, and you're seeing results, which is great. So I'm sure
Yeah.
that keeps you motivated to continue what you're doing.
It really does. It really does. And so it just, like it gives me the encouragement to like definitely like make good choices. I feel like everything that I have had to do as it relates to my diet, every diet I've ever tried, every course I've ever paid for, like I literally feel like with the help of this medication, I can just do those things. Like I have so much information that I can just now apply it.
Hmm.
That's why I feel like I'm so successful. Like I know the medicine helps, but I also count like all the years of everything I've been learning from as it relates to like weight loss and health, and really picking things now that I can sustain over a long period of time.
Okay. So tell us about your diet. Give us an example of what you eat in a day and your eating habits.
For sure. So, as far I focused heavy on protein and making sure I get enough of that at the beginning of the day. So, like for breakfast, when I first wake up, I will have some protein, like a protein shake. The premier protein shake is the birthday cake flavor, and I mix it with some instant coffee, and that gives me the 30 grams of protein. And then probably a few hours later, I have a protein bar after I get done with like my part-time job. And then I'll come home and we'll have lunch. And usually lunch, I usually try to buy things that I can just put together for the week. And then on the weekends is the day, like really Sunday is the day that I'll cook like a couple different option meal, and we can kind of eat off of that for the first part of the week. So, for lunch, I'll probably like today I had this package um grilled Parmesan chicken. It's like the Real Good brand, and it's like a grilled chicken. And I have this Caesar salad mix that I love. Um, and I mix that, and I have like a big bowl of that. And then I had later tonight, I had some more chicken. No, I had some fish, some salmon, and a bag of like roasted vegetables that come from Costco, and it has like onions and sweet potatoes and broccoli and zucchini, and I just put it in a pan and roast it. And I had salmon that I made with like just a mixture of like mayonnaise and um, honey and Dijon mustard, and I let marinate. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I just eat. I focus on protein, and I eat clean foods like meat and protein, or meat and vegetables. I try to stay away from carbs because I'm seeing how they affect the scale, and how they affect like I feel like I don't digest them right or something, because I feel like it just takes way longer. So I just try to stay away from that. And just eating the way I've been eating, I really don't crave it. And with the medicine, and anytime I want something like sweet, especially like that week before I start my cycle, I really just lean heavy on extra protein, like extra meat and my protein bar, and really doubling up on any like protein shake. If I want something sweet, an extra protein coffee. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's pretty so simple around here.
So you don't eat anything solid until after you exercise in the morning. What time is that when you're eating your protein bar?
Um, I think on my first break is like, so I wake up around 3:40 by like,
3:40 a.m.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I wake up at like 3:40, and then I have a devotion that we do on a group at 5, and that's when I drink my shake. And then most days I'll have to work by 6, and then my first break is around 8:15, and I'm usually good even then. It's usually probably around 10 o'clock where I'm like, okay, I need some food. And so I eat the protein bar. And then by 12, I'm done, and I'll come home and make, some lunch, some kind of meat and vegetable. And then for dinner, we have some type of meat and vegetable. And
So
then the
you
girls,
meal prep
yeah.
for the week? You cook all no, no. So you cook pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the things that I make, I buy things. I buy things like, I'm not a let's make all the meals, and like I'm not doing all that. I'm finding the convenient ways to get the healthiest option I can. So I do pre-packaged, like the chicken cubes that you can get from Costco that you can throw on a salad. I
Okay.
do that. I do like the bags of salad that come already chopped up with the dressing already in it. I do the bags of vegetables, the bags of chicken nuggets, like literally I try to make it as thoughtless as possible so that I am not overcomplicating this thing. I'm also teaching my daughters how to learn how to prepare their own meals, and learn how to do things kind of on their own. So we're not trying to be too advanced until probably the weekend.
So have you had any what they would call cheat meals, or event where you splurged and had some cake or a
Yeah.
sweet?
Cake, no. So I have date nights with my daughters, and I let them pick where we go.
Cute.
And so we have it once a month. And so we've had one since August, and I have 3 daughters. So I've had what, six, three, six, nine. I had 9 so far. And usually they pick food like Chick-fil-A. I took my youngest to Chick-fil-A, and I'll have a kids meal, and I'll have grilled chicken, and I'll have macaroni and cheese. The macaroni
Oh,
and
so
cheese is
wait, do
like,
they I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do they each get to pick, or they pick and they agree on one thing per month? One
oh
place
no,
per month?
no, it's individual. So I want to spend
Oh,
time with them
okay,
individually, so
okay.
they feel like,
Special.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, mommy's just gonna go with me, and we're going, all that. So
Yeah, I love that.
so when it's Chick-fil-A, I know the small mac and cheese is 270 calories. The grilled chicken is nothing, and it tastes amazing. And then I'll get like either a diet tea and a diet lemonade with tea unsweet, or a diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, wow.
That's
Very
pretty much
good.
my cheat. Yeah.
That's your cheat. Well, that's a good
That's my
cheat.
cheat.
That's a good
But
cheat.
the protein bars, they taste like candy. So I don't really
They
need, I
do.
don't, like, I'm like, I'm so good.
And the protein shakes. Like, I need to get my protein shakes. I'm missing my protein shakes. But you're right. That can be your sugar or sweet
Hmm.
substitute. And then you make the protein coffee as well. I remember you
Hmm.
talking about that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I mix the protein, the whole protein shake, and I do two, like a spoon and a half of the instant coffee Folgers, because I like to taste the coffee so it to be a little bit stronger. Um, Put some ice in it. I've been watching other people. They have a skinny salted caramel syrup. It's like a 0 calorie one that I want to try. I feel like I get all the things.
So do you have a protein number you're trying to hit every day?
I just want to be in the green. And I think I was looking for my phone, but I'm on my phone. I think it tells me that I'm supposed to have like 70 grams, and I try to get above that. So
Okay.
whatever that looks like, I definitely have to get it a lot of protein in the morning, because I feel like it just kind of carries me through.
Very good. So, but you're making sure with it sounds like every meal you are getting protein in there. So where do you fit exercise in? You're getting up at 3:50 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you start with a devotional group at 5. So what are you in between that time exercising?
This past week is the first week that I got up and been doing my exercise before I go to my part time.
Oh,
Before that, I was doing it like when I got off, but I tried it one day and I had so much energy at work. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I was pumped. And so I've been getting up in the morning. So I get up and talk myself into getting up out the bed and going to work out, and I'll, do my prayer, talk to God, pray for whoever, and then go work out. It's like 30 minutes, and then come back and just kind of take my time, get my coffee ready, and then get on the call at 5, and then out the door.
well, I'm glad to know that you don't just jump right up and put those tennis shoes on
Nah.
and get right out, because I'm like, oh, it's a struggle for me. And I've even gone as far as like I lay my clothes out. This is what I'm gonna wear. I've even gone as far as wearing what I'm gonna have on the bed so
Hmm.
that when I get up, I could just quickly
Yeah.
freshen up and go. So I've tried all different kind of ways to just make sure I stay accountable to that exercise. So we even have to, the workout queen, I'll call you. You even have to drag yourself.
I literally, I talked myself. I was like, Kofia, just get up. You told so and so that you was gonna do this. I'm like, you're right, Kofia, just get up. And then I was like, all right, Kofia, just get up. And so then I get up. Okay, you got 5 more minutes. All right, go, get up. You gotta put your shoes on, and then I'll do it. But yeah, some I know the week before my cycle is the hardest, because I'm the most exhausted. Like, I am the most drained. I feel like my hormones is off, and so it's the hardest time. But the other weeks are a lot easier. I feel like, because I'm more regulated and I just have a lot more energy just naturally. So the real fight is that week. The week before my cycle. That's the fight in the food. That's the fight in getting movement. That is when I fight the most. And before the medicine, I was losing every time, like every time, like attitude bad, eating whatever I want to eat, all the things. So
So
that
it's that
helped.
really regulated that for you.
Yeah, it's definitely helped me. I think it's helped me to like be more aware. Like, I'm more aware of it. I was aware of it before the medicine, but I didn't really know how to change it. I didn't really have help to like stop. And now that I have help to stop, it's like, okay, I can make a different decision about moving. I can talk myself into it. Where before it's like, girl, bye.
Well, you're also eating healthier, and I think you probably feel better. And
Yeah.
once you feel better, you can move. It makes you want to move more. So I can totally see that. Do you calorie count? Because when you talked about your eating in a day, it sounds like you just have your meals. You know how much the calories are, and you're probably keeping track, but not writing things down necessarily. But so you're not
No.
calorie track counting.
Some days I will, but it's not religiously. Like,
Okay.
I probably haven't entered the calorie for like a week. But I'm aware of it though. I try to stay within like 1,300. And so because I had tracked pretty much everything I was doing, we got a food scale. So I was measuring out all the meats and what that looks like, how much it was. And so I kind of got into a rhythm of, okay, this is what it is. And now I know what the amounts are, and then I'll try to listen to, okay, I'm getting full. Like I'm good. I can stop.
So where did you get the 1,300 calories from? How did you know that number?
That was in my app. It's like the Net Apple app. It's a green app, a green apple, and I think it's like Net Calorie Counter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put in that I want to lose 2 pounds a week. I put in that I'm physically active, my age and all that stuff. And then it told me, and I told them that I wanted to get to like 100. At the time, I was trying to get to like 155 or 60 by next June. And so then it told me this is your calorie amount that you need for each day.
Okay, so you put that movement in there. So when you're exercising, what does that routine look like for you? Because you're posting videos a lot about a lot of you in the gym using. I know you use the weights. How much weight, strength training versus cardio are you getting?
So I'm really intentional about the strength training. And I get at least 3 days a week, and it's 30 minutes a day. And so I try to lift as heavy as I can. And I try to lift, her name is Lift with C. So I try to lift what she's lifting in the video.
No, do you
Um,
really?
so sometimes at work, this morning she was doing triceps and she had like 15s or something. I said, oh, we can't do that. We're gonna go to these 10s right here. But so I try to do that, and then I try to get my steps in. So I don't necessarily count cardio, but my goal had been up until last week to get 10,000 steps, and I have an iPhone, so I really just want to close my ring on the fitness app, and that's 150 calories burned. And then my goal was 10,000 steps. But now that I'm trying to get to 199, I increased it to 15,000 steps a day. And so, however I can get the 15,000 steps and however I can get my 3 days a week, that's the activity level I do.
So you're trying to get to 199 by
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. How many pounds would that be?
That would be 3.4 pounds every week for the next 4 weeks.
Every week for the next 4 weeks. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. So you
I
need to lose
know.
like 12 more pounds?
Yeah, I'm 212. So I want to get to
Okay, okay.
199. So
Okay.
I got to get at least 1,300. I
Okay.
mean,
All right.
yeah, I got to lose at least 13 pounds.
Now, do you ever worry because at points when I was really working out a lot, I was afraid to do strength training because muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're doing the strength training, you could be in fact gaining muscle and
Mm-hmm.
not losing. It's not going to show up on the scale as much, but you might see it in the measurement of your waist or your clothes or in another way. That's not necessarily the scale. So have you taken that into consideration with your goal for the 199?
Yeah, so I have gained 2%. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know how many pounds that is, but I could probably do the measurement on the calculator. But I've gained 2% body muscle mass since I started. So I know that I'm gaining muscle, but I also believe that muscle burns fat. And
It does.
so it so it's like, okay, even though it'll weigh more, it's gonna help me burn this other stuff. So then that should show up, more so on the scale. And I think I would be losing faster, like it would show up more on the scale if I wasn't strength training. So I think it's working together.
Well, that's good. That's good. I think that's a good goal. You are a goal setter, which I like because I set goals too. Sometimes I wonder, are my goals realistic? But I can always reevaluate,
Yep.
restructure, and always aim high. I like the high
Yeah.
expectation. I think you can do it. 36 pounds in how many weeks is this? 13
13.
weeks. That's great. You're also knocking out a lot of these videos for your channel. How do you fit everything in?
I have become really, really good at managing myself. Because I help other people. Like, the thing I say is go be great by mastering what's on your plate. So I literally have developed like a routine around mastering what's my responsibility. And that's the things that I can control. And that's like being more disciplined with what I'm doing with my time. And so I don't watch TV unless we're doing like a movie night. I read, I listen to podcasts. I don't really do a lot of like the entertainment that I have is not just random or sporadic, or how people just come home. And this is no knock on anybody. Like, you come
Yeah.
home and you sit down, watch TV, and you just all I used to do all that. But now I'm like, everything I'm doing needs to be intentional. And sitting around watching somebody else have their life on TV, I'd rather y'all be watching me live my life on TV. Like, y'all don't know me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and shout out to Myron Golden, because he's the one who, like, really, I follow him faithfully. I've been to some of his events, and he is just super inspirational. And so he said something to me, not to me, but to the camera years ago, and he's like, why would you spend your life rooting for people who don't know you, right? If you don't deserve to take breaks, or you don't deserve to entertain yourself if you're not living the life that you want. And I was just like, you got a point. Like, what am I doing? And so I just kind of take that kind of mindset around what I do. So I get up. My spiritual life is super important for me. So I spend time with God by myself. I read my Bible, not to just have a bunch of information, but for it to transform, the way I think. And then after that, I get ready for work, check on my daughters, go to work, come back, have lunch with them. They do homeschool, so we doing assignments and whatever they got going on homeschool stuff.
So
And
you're also homeschooling in addition to all of this? Oh
I
my goodness.
know, it's crazy.
Now, how old are your girls?
12, 10, and 6.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Wow.
my mom is going through chemo, so she was staying with us for a
Oh,
little bit. So just helping her, taking her to her appointments. I'm telling you, like, everything I do is intentional. Like, I have to be, because
sure. Yeah.
it has, like, so yeah, so I do that. And then I also have some stuff I do with life and health insurance, and open enrollment just started yesterday. So I
Well, you're
help
busy.
people get their life insurance, or get their health insurance. And now, especially, because it's like it's wide open season for that. Yeah, and then I go to
Wow.
bed. And in between, I record videos. Either Friday nights is like my CD night, is what I call it. Like, I create a rap CD, but it's really just creating content. And then Sundays, after I have I'm saying this out loud. I'm like, man, I got a lot going on. On Sundays, I have a discipleship group that we meet. It's called Crowned in Christ. And so after I do that, then I work on a little bit more content and try to plan it out for the week. And I just try to use the tools, right? So I record a long form video, and then I upload it into some apps that'll chop it up for me, and then I'll schedule it for the whole week. So it shows that I'm active every single day, but I'm not literally making a video every day. The
Every
only
single day.
videos that I make usually that are sporadic, or like that are not scheduled, are like my workout videos, or we doing a squat challenge. So that's something that I actually may post.
Okay. So yeah. So you're doing them kind of in bulk, like
Yeah.
your videos
Yep.
at one time. All right.
Yep.
Well, that clears it up, because I was like, how is this lady having time to do that? No, I knew things were scheduled, but I didn't
Yeah.
know how you were actually fitting them into your day.
Yes.
So I wonder, what is your end goal? Where do you want to be? And do you have like a certain time to get there? Are you setting goals in between time to get to your end goal? And what is the end goal for Kofia?
Um, as far as like health, I just want to be like I don't think it's an end goal. Like, I want to be in the best shape of my life. And I think that's just the forever. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be the best shape of 2024, the best shape I've ever been in 2025. And that just means like really being able to just run around and be active and have energy and play with my daughters and race them and win. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that.
But what about your weight? So where did you have a goal that you want to get to? Because yeah, I agree. It's probably not really an end goal. But do you have did you have a goal set for weight, or your doctor even, when you started?
I initially wanted to like get in the healthy range or whatever, but looking at like as time keeps going on, I'm just like, I don't know if I'll ever. And so, like, I feel like I'm really muscular. And my dad is very solid and muscular. Even now, he like 76 and he's muscular, climbing on the roofs and stuff, and just very fit. So to be 150, I'm like, I don't know if that is gonna like, I don't know if that's in the cards for me. Not to say I'm giving up, but like to be fit and to love the way I look, I don't necessarily want to be super small. So what I said is I'm gonna get to 199 and then see how I feel. And then I probably will go to 175 and I may stop there, just depending on how my clothes fit, how I look naked, because that's kind of a good measurement. Um, because even at 170, when I was at 175 before, I was in like a size 8'10". And
Okay.
so if anything, I'd probably say it would be a size, and I could say maybe a size 8'10". I would be
So
good with
that's a
that.
good way to put it for a size that you want to get into.
Yeah, like a size 8'10" and maybe like a medium top. Because I've always been felt like smaller up top and a little bit more hippier in the bottom. So
And
yeah,
how tall are you?
I'm 5'4.5".
Oh, so your
I
doctor would want you to be like in the 130s probably.
Yeah,
Mhm.
150 was at the very top of the
Yeah.
range.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but I don't think even in eighth grade I was 175. And at 175, I look back at those pictures. I'm like, girl, you was bad. You 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 was looking right in the eighth grade. Like
I
you
know,
was
I say the
slumming.
same thing. And then you thought you were bigger then, but really you
Yes.
weren't.
So I don't ever remember ever being 130, 140, 150, one even 60. So I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, let me get to 175 with the difference, the way my body's gonna look different, especially with building muscle. And if I get an eight to 10 size, I think I'll be good.
So you've been on this journey for 13 weeks. You're down 36 pounds.
Hmm.
What advice do you have for somebody who's just starting out on a GLP-1 medication, specifically Tirzepatide? What advice would you give a
I,
newbie?
I would say, um, do your research, and I would say go for it. I would say go. I would say dream big, and I would say put all of your effort into it. And you only have one life. And yes, everything is, your family is important, your job is important, your children are important. Yes, they are. But if you don't have your health, it's not going to matter. And so, especially if it's
Mm.
something where you feel like you have some type of dis-ease or whatever, then go for it. Like, use the medication. Don't worry about what other people think of you, because that's none of your business, and really focus on pouring into yourself and doing what's best for you. Like, what would your future self want to thank you for? And I promise you it'll be for taking the medication.
Well, that's a good way to put it. Now, what dose are you on? I don't think we talked about that.
Oh no, we didn't. So I'm on the 5 milligrams. So I did the 2.5 for the first 5 weeks, and then I went to 5, and I've been on 5 ever since.
Okay. So you've only been up two doses.
Yep. Yeah.
2.5, which is they call the loading dose, and then the 5. Okay, very good. So, you're one of those people that probably is a super responder. But, when they say a super responder, I would also say you are doing all the things that you're supposed to do. And I think that exercise, I know for a fact, the exercise is a huge booster. which has given your weight loss a boost. Because if you were just, you were probably not exercising, you might not be as far with the pounds.
Yeah.
So, for anybody out there that's wondering why she's so far along, she's also exercising, and that's a part of her daily routine.
Yeah. I will say, if I can add, and I haven't shared this with, I probably won't share it on my channel. And I haven't shared with anybody else. But I'm not the only one taking the medication. I'm taking the medication with my daughter. And she's lost almost 40 pounds in about the same time frame.
Wow. The same
Yeah.
time frame.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
Good
she's
for
doing
her.
amazing.
Oh
Amazing.
my
And
goodness.
and that's why I said at the beginning, like, my own personal reasons was I wanted to be the match for the man that I desired for my purpose partner. But I really started, and I started in, like, considering the investment, because I'm like, if this could help her avoid some of the pain that I have gone through, being a little girl, being bullied, living overweight for a lot of my life, I'm like, it'll be worth it. And to see her transform in these last 13 weeks, I'm like, I'll pay whatever. Like, I'll figure it out. Like, so she has been, and she's just like, her attitude is transformed. Her body is transforming. The way she is looking at food is different. And she doesn't, and this is the thing. So, like, I'm putting in major work, right? She is not.
I was gonna say, but she's young, so her metabolism is
Exactly.
boosted
Exactly.
already.
I'm like, I'm out here, I'm pushing, I'm working hard. And she's like, yeah, we walked around the building,
Now, has her confidence gone up? Do you notice the change?
the roof. Do you hear me? I'm like, oh my
It's
God,
so
this is
good for
such,
her.
it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to watch, because she's always been, she's always been beautiful, and she's had levels and times where she was just walking in her confidence. But to see it now, it's like, oh my gosh. And I'm getting to have conversations with her that I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I have been big all my life. And so, when you get smaller, you get a lot of attention. And we were just talking last night about, okay, I got to teach them, what it looks like to get all this attention, and really not, just like we don't want to have a bully bring you down. You don't want let a man's attention to bring you up, right? You want to have a neutral, independent view of yourself. And so it's given me more things to be able to, like, learn from myself and have conversations with her, and my other daughter. So it's been really dope.
Well, I like how you said she's always been beautiful, because that's one of the things that I hear people say that have lost weight. That one of the things that bothers them now when they think back, people say, "Oh, you look so good. You look so good." People focus on how you look because that's the first thing you see. And then they
Hmm.
say, they think to themselves, "Well, I must have been, how was I looking before? I must have not have been beautiful before." But I think the key is, because, people have always told me, no matter what size I am, that I was, beautiful. And
Hmm.
so, or pretty. And I look at it as, I don't think they weren't being honest. I just think that
No.
losing weight enhances that.
Yeah.
I liken it to you putting on makeup, or anybody putting on makeup. Makeup
Hmm.
enhances the beauty you already have. Just a little, you
Mm.
don't need a whole lot, but it enhances you. So, if you can teach her that, because, she may gain weight, some weight back here or there, you just
Yeah.
never know. And you want to teach her that you're still beautiful. Losing weight enhanced your features. It brought things out so
Yeah.
that, we can see you. So I think that's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
For
Good
sure.
luck to her. So is she
Yes.
on the
Thank
same
you.
dose and everything that you are? Okay. All right. So
She's
you have a
literally doing all the.
partner. Oh
I
my God.
do. She literally doing all the things. Well, not all the things. I'm doing all the things. She chilling, but she does work. She works a lot harder than she had been before. We are all just really more physically active. So yeah.
I am so happy for her. Thank you for sharing that. That kind of made my night to hear. Just to hear
Good.
that, she's happy, her confidence is up and all
Yes.
of that. And I mean, that
Yes.
I'm sure makes you proud as her mom.
Yes.
So, a couple of more questions. I have to
Yeah.
ask you this. So, can you tell me one word to describe yourself before you start taking the medication? How would you describe yourself before that?
Positive.
You were positive. Okay. And now how
Yeah.
would you describe yourself now that you've
Um,
been on this GOP1 journey?
uh, I feel like mm, I feel like my outside is starting to reflect my inside. I don't know. Is that's not one word though, but the first thing that came to mind when you were asking the question was bold. But that's the thing. I think it's at another level though, because I feel like I've always been very outspoken and very positive, um, but just more bold. I don't know. Maybe we can go with that.
That's good. That's good. I think
Yeah.
that maybe it sounds like it's more confidence because if you were
Yeah.
positive before, you're confident. I think that kind of brings it out even more. All right. I love that. So anything else you want to share with us about your journey with the GLP-1 medication?
I really believe mindset is huge. I really believe. Like, yes, I'm doing all the things, but I had to know of the things and like make time for the things and to have the right perspective of the things to do the things. And so I feel like getting the right frame of mind, getting the right perspective around really changing your lifestyle and what that is going to look like and what that's going to take. Like it, for me, it needed to be overhauled. Like, I am not one, like, I needed a new life because if I was trying to hold on to the old life and try to add certain things in, there would be more old than new and I could revert back. But a completely different life and a completely different way that I look at food and fitness and all those things, I think has helped me tremendously. And so I would just encourage anybody on any type of transformation, really focus heavy on the way that you think and change the way that you think and you will change your life.
It's that mindset. What has the
Mhm.
medication done for you? You have the mindset, and now you're taking this medication. What has it done to you to actually make you not overindulge or go to Chick-fil-A and have, a milkshake?
It suppresses the time between it makes the time I don't know if it suppresses, but it makes the time bigger between what I want versus actually doing it. And that time in between, it's like it calms my brain down
Mhm.
and it takes away the excitement and it allows me to like reroute that fulfillment instead of using it for food. But I think to know that you can reroute it is where the mindset comes in. The medicine helps me to actually reroute it and make different decisions. And then of course I get the result of losing the weight. So it's like it helps me to slow things down and make conscious decisions on okay, yes, you can go to Chick-fil-A, but do you really want it? And then by the time I think about it, oh no, you don't really want it. And I don't know if that's the medicine or what, but it's like, it ain't gonna be that exciting. Like it used to be real exciting. Now it's like, not so much. I can go without it. Okay. I really like the way this is looking on my body. So then I'll, make a different decision. So, and then it also gives me like that I really am feeling my body cues. Like I remember going through a program and it was talking about feeling satiation. It's like where you feel satisfied. And I guess it's like the hormone that's supposed to tell your brain that you're full. But I don't know if mine was working until I started taking the medicine. When I started taking the medicine, I could actually feel in my stomach that I felt full. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so
Sure.
it's almost like it turned on my body so that it can work with my brain.
I would agree. That appetite suppression it's just the best because, it also takes that desire away. That desire, I think, is probably the brain, communication with the brain. The
Mhm.
appetite suppression, I think, is with the digestion and feeling full and all of
Mhm.
that. So I just wanted a newbie to know, that's what's happening. You're experiencing that appetite suppression and not thinking about the food all the time. When you're faced with the food, you still don't even want it. You know what I mean?
No.
It's
No.
amazing. It's amazing. Your taste buds almost change.
Yes.
So,
They
I think
they do. They do. They literally do because like if you ever went on a diet, your taste buds literally change, but the cravings make you go back to the food that you wanted. So then you have to retrain your you know what I'm saying? Like you have to
Mm-hmm.
reprogram the new taste buds. But the medicine helps us stick with stuff long enough that we can not crave it and our taste buds change. So it's like we can become completely different, you know, if we put the right things in place. So I truly believe that our taste buds change 100%.
Do you see yourself taking this long term? Like, or or is
Um,
your end goal? I know you don't have an end goal for the weight, but necessarily, but is your end goal to come off of the medication?
I don't know. If I can get an insurance company to pay for it, then I would likely stay on for a year and try to wean myself off to make sure I can maintain my weight and increase
Mhm.
my calories. So I guess that's the answer. I would love to stay, I would love to get to my goal weight and then stay on a low dose for a year and wean myself off and hopefully fix if there's, you know, like because they say it's your metabolic system is like out of whack. So hopefully a year at the my good weight or you know a healthy rate for me, I think would be my ideal plan. So yeah, I would for a year. I wouldn't want to
Mm.
do it for the rest of my life. I don't that wouldn't be my goal.
Okay, okay. But if you had to, if
Yeah, I
that's how
mean if
you
I had
had to
to,
do it
yeah,
and you can afford to do it, you would. Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. So tell us about your channel. Tell us about Kofia Fit at 40.
Yes. So on my channel, I share mindset things related to fitness. I share my journey, my weekly updates as it relates to like how I'm doing, what my goals are for the week. I'm also sharing my journey to get monetized. I'm at 70 subscribers.
Yay.
Hey.
Now, how long have you been on there? On YouTube
Probably
with
since
your channel?
this channel I've been on since I think I started right when I started my journey. So around August 2nd, I
August.
think,
Okay.
is when I
Okay.
started posting videos on there. Because I initially started posting the videos on my divorce channel and I could see that they were getting traction and I didn't want to have like I just wanted to have one message for one channel and then one message for the other. So I
Sure.
would know exactly who I'm talking to and what this audience likes and that kind of thing.
Was your other channel monetized?
No, I have 1,800 subscribers, but I am lacking in watch hours.
Watch hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well, you're
working on that.
doing it. You're with this your Kofia Fit at 40. You are uploading a lot. You're sharing a lot of your journey. You know, videos are coming out. Like I watch a video, and then next thing I look up, I get a notification. She said she has another video. I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta catch this video. So, and some of them are short, but you are working hard. So subscribe to her channel, Kofia Fit at 40. Go and support. Our goal is to get her monetized. And you know what? You'll be there in no time. I remember you set a goal. I love that you goal set because I do too.
It was to get to 62 from wherever number I was at. I think it was an additional 33 people though.
Okay, it was additional, right, to get to. And so you're past that, right? We're on
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
in less time. I was like, whoa, that's
So
awesome.
now what's your next goal? Do you have a hundred? Is that your next goal?
A hundred is the next goal. 100 subscribers, and by November 21st is the time frame. And my way I'm posting is I'm posting 3 long form videos each week and 1 short a day.
And one short a day. Very good. Very good. I think I don't think I know you're gonna get there. And we have to get her there. If you're watching this interview, like and subscribe and make comments too. That also helps that engagement to make comments.
Yes.
Let her know that you like the video. Let YouTube know that you like the video. You're losing weight, but you're gaining subscribers. I love that. Well, thank you so much for interviewing. I appreciate you taking time. It's so good to talk to you up close and personal. You're doing a great job. You're going to get to your goal in no time. So I have to have you back when you get into what size that is. What size did you say?
8 to 10,
8,
8 to 10.
8 to 10. You might be back at Christmas time.
Okay. Hey, listen, maybe
Because
so.
you are a woman on a mission. I love hearing about all your devotional groups and just all you're doing. You're a busy lady. Thank you for sharing the information about your daughter. We're going to be also rooting for her. And keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. I love watching you. I love your drive, your motivation. You're doing it. You are
Thank
doing
you
it.
so much. I appreciate you having me on here, and you know all the support that you give and the comments, and I really genuinely feel like you are rooting for me, and I am the rooter. Like, I root for my people, and so to have that, I'm like, yes.
Yes, I am rooting for you. I am rooting for you. So I'm just so excited to watch you and see your videos. And yeah, we're gonna be following your journey. So we're on this journey together. Like, yeah, I'm on it too. So I'm
Right.
excited. I'm excited. Well, have a good night and
You
thank you for
too.
interviewing. And I'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.